and scientists predict in 50 years there'll be 12 billion. And if we don't have enough food to feed the people now, how will we feed them in 50 years? And GMOs are the answer. So GMO farming gives a better outcome on the same land and other lands that we weren't able to do before, like salt-laden lands.
Okay, so when you can't plant natural crops everywhere because a lot of soil doesn't allow it to grow properly. And when you plant the GMO plants, they're like you can plant it almost anywhere. So that way we would be making use of deserted lands that are it'll become productive, so they wouldn't just be useless.
And then without dramatic improvements in the crop yields, people will starve and suffer from disease and death from malnutrition, and will affect wildlife, animals, and ecosystems, and then it will force us to draw more from agricultural land into production, and that means with pest resistance, which we know we can breed into the plants, it will be supplanted widely by the use of chemical pesticides.
All right, those sound like very convincing arguments. All right, thank you. On this side,
Biotech companies only modify crops in the U.S. like soybeans, corn, and cotton. They do not modify crops in developing countries. This shows that they do not care about the people in need. They only care about making profit in the largest industries.
Biotech companies don't care that people could get sick of GMO.
And biotech companies over-promote the benefits about GMO in order to obtain more money and to fund patents and research. They ignore that GMOs have environmental hazards and health concerns of the consumers.
all right, I'm curious, what does the panel have to say overall? Where do you think they're going to go with this panel? Can you summarize some of the potential problems that you have to face?
Yeah, I think we have to consider both there's a lot of positives and negatives to GMO, that we could have potentially, more health, more food if we use it, but then we're not completely certain of the risks, and there's also a lot of environmental hazards and also a lot of injustice that could happen if people are exploited in how the trade happens with GMO seeds. So it's a very difficult issue.
I think we can all see that it is a very complex issue. Do we want to take a little vote? How many of you would, given the information you've just received from each other, how many of you would come down on the side of encouraging the use of more GMO products, period? How many would vote for that? Okay, all right. Some would vote for that, good. And how about the others? Are you abstaining, or are you voting to limit the amount of GMOs? I mean, we already have quite a bit. Should we be putting more fierce limits on how we're using this new technology? Okay, let's see a hand pose for that. All right. Okay. So clearly,